The Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup, we've got Deerfield Academy from the USA in the green and white there on the Berkshire station at the top of your picture, and closest to the camera on the Buck station, Latymer Upper School in the light blue there. And this looks very even, Sarah.
This is amazing, isn't it? This is looking really fast and furious. We're joining them live now, and they're still side by side. This is, again, one of these amazing races. The rules for the PE have changed only this year, Tim, which is allowing not just schools, clubs can also enter this event, but here we have an academy, Deerfield Academy from the US of A. They've travelled here and they're going to try and make sure of their win against Latymer Upper School, who have come from Chiswick in the Thames, and the Thames, the tideway part of the Thames that they row on.
Great to see the eights on the water. This is what it's all about, isn't it? The power and the speed. With all respect to the smaller boats and the athletes in those who will be enjoying their regatta just as much. The eights, just such a terrific sight as they head down the course now. And
this is going to be really interesting because we have got two really different systems in here. We've got Deerfield Academy, where some of the athletes have actually only just started rowing in the spring, so it'll be interesting how they hold their technique for the second part. And Latymer, you can see they've got a slightly different rig, what we call a bucket rig in the middle of there, to really keep their athletes together. And you can see Latymer now really sitting back. They're really trying to press it on. They're asking, their coxswain will be asking for more and more of their athletes, trying to make sure that they hold on to Deerfield, who has still got that advantage.
And those boats getting quite close. The blades, the blue of Latymer Upper to the right, and the Deerfield Academy, the white blades there, not too far away. But that was just as you were talking, wasn't it? That injection of pace from Latymer to put them not just back in the race, but in fact nosing in front now.
And I think this is really interesting. Deerfield Academy are telling us in their bio they're only able to, because of school rules, they're only able to row in the spring. They can't row in the fall. So these guys have only been in the boat for the last few months. Latymer will have been out there in their winter fair. They've been doing the long miles on that tideway stretch on the Thames. But both crews now still side by side. Deerfield just ahead. You can see that. You can hear the crowds. It's going to be the best race so far today.
Yeah, well, so far, ebbing and flowing nicely, this one, isn't it? The lead is exchanged a couple of times so far, and all the way from America. You can't imagine Deerfield Academy sent over this 8 to do anything other than progress through the first round. Rode in the Cox 4 for the US junior national team. Charles Richards in the 4th seat for Deerfield. We've got in the bow seat Xander Alf there. This is to the right of your picture on the Berkshire station. Fred Chrysler, Teddy Pappas, and then I mentioned Charles Richards, Pierce Lapham, Theo Daynard, Morgan Hasman and John Patton in the stroke seat, and Darian Chang the cox. They've got to drive on here if they want to continue their week in competition. In the green and white, Deerfield Academy, they're being spoken to by the umpire, being told to get back onto their side of the track. And they will do that. They just edge back enough to keep the umpire happy for now. And they've forged a decent lead, but they've had to dig really deep there. Asked a serious question by Latymer Upper School.
Yeah, fantastic. 36 strokes a minute. Deerfield's up there. They're really taking their race all the way to finish. Latymer, they're at 37. They're still pushing on. But Deerfield, there they are, crossing that finish line. They'll be delighted. Latymer disappointed going home.
It was a brilliant race. Latymer Upper School in the end come second, but Deerfield Academy had to dig so deep, they had to work hard, because for 3/4 of that race it was really in the balance, the lead exchanging hands on several occasions, but Deerfield by a length in the end.